Have you ever had one of those parenting moments where your kid asks you to do something, which is kind of a surprise, but every fiber of your being is like, no, I don't want to. Please, I'm so tired. I just want you to know that those are the moments that we have the opportunity to step into to not just connect with our kids, but to communicate to our kids that they matter. Let me tell you a quick story. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to take our kids to Disneyland to celebrate our older daughter. She's just turned 16. Took her, our younger daughter, 11, and our daughter's best friend to go to Disneyland for the day. And I love Disneyland. I'm pro Disneyland. I'm not a grump. I'm not a Scrooge. I'm not a Grinch when it comes to Disneyland, but I do have limits. These are long days, super long days. And we got to this point kind of mid-afternoon where they really wanted to go on the new ride. Splash Mountain has been transformed to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I think it's called. And every part of me was like, no, I'm tired. My feet hurt. My shoulder hurts from holding this backpack. My back hurts from standing around. I'm tired. I don't want to get wet. And I kind of reluctantly got in line. And the entire line, it's a long line, it was like 70 minutes. And I had this escape plan. As soon as we get to kind of the last part before you go into the ride, I'm just going to be like, hey guys, I'll be out here. And the more we stood there, the more I realized how drenched we were going to get because the people coming off the ride were coming out, some of them head to toe water. And then I'm like, really? Heck no, I'm not doing this. I'm tired. I don't want to get wet for the rest of the night. It's going to ruin the day. And I was doing this all internally. I was doing this all on the inside. And I could tell there's a little anxiety. Are you coming? Are you coming, Dad? And it was the fateful moment was when someone handed us one poncho, a plastic poncho. And then like 5 seconds later, someone handed us 3 more. So now we have 4 ponchos. So then they all turn to me and say, are you going? And that's when I say, yeah, I'm in. As parents, I think we spend a lot of time, number one, disconnected from our teenagers, but also saying no to things. No, you can't stay up late. No, you can't skip your homework. No, we're not eating fast food again. And sometimes that no reflex kicks in, even when it doesn't have to, even when the stakes are low, but our comfort is on the line. Our comfort is high. And I think for me in that moment, standing outside of Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou, I felt the pull of comfort. I felt tired. I didn't want to wait in line anymore. I didn't want to get soaked and have the rest of the day ruined. But that look on their faces told me that this wasn't just about the ride. It was about sharing the moment together, stepping into their world. Kids pull away from you. Kids pull away from their parents. It starts around 10 or 11 or 12, and they start pulling towards friends, peers. They are longing to find acceptance, belonging, really these fundamental questions of, do I have value to anybody? Do you see me? Do you see who I am? Do you acknowledge what makes me different and unique? And rather than going to their parents with those questions, do I have value? They go to other teenagers, their peers. And everyone's kind of, it feels like the zero-sum game. Everyone's trying to compete against this, like, we only have a little bit of value to go around. And so we're going to make it like hyper competitive. And you don't have value unless you look this way. You don't have value unless you can demonstrate these things, unless you can accomplish these things, unless you can get into that school, get these grades, or not get these wrong grades, get people to like you, get people to follow you on social media. These are all the ways we're like trying to compete for value. And yet they do come back. They come back to this home base. And with those questions still. Because they understand that they've been prickly, irritable, irritating, difficult. They understand that it's been different. As we roll into holiday, Christmas season, they recognize that they're changing. They're growing up and they're pulling away. And they spend more time alone. They spend more time with their friends. You spend more time waiting for them in a parking lot, or outside of a friend's house to get back in the car. And they yet have these big questions and they bring them to you. Do I have value? And so those moments, and this is my own journey and my encouragement to you, is to pay attention to those moments, those opportunities, especially over the next couple of weeks over a break, when they say, can we stay up together and watch that movie? And you're like, it's 11. No. Can we go to Target? No, we already went this morning or last night. Can we go get Starbucks together? Can we go get a milkshake? Can we go get something unhealthy? Can we play this game together? And my encouragement is to say yes, because saying yes matters. You are communicating to them that as you're pulling away and finding your way in the world, you still have a place, a person, a family to come home to where you have unequivocal value. There's no question. We have unconditional love and unconditional regard for you. So say yes, even if it's inconvenient, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's something you would never want to do or choose to do on your own, even if you're going to have to take Tums afterwards or sleep in tomorrow or be really tired, because it's not just about that activity. It's about the memory. It's about the connection. It's about the message that we get to send to them that you matter to me. And I'm not suggesting that we aim for perfection as parents, but that we would look through that lens of perhaps getting drenched, perhaps getting tired, perhaps listening to that Taylor Swift album again on repeat, perhaps going to Taco Bell for a late night run, that the answer would be yes. And I know that you care just as much as I do that our kids would have this field of experience, this field of love and acceptance, so that they have more capacity to represent their true selves out in the world. The more they have an experience that their true selves belong somewhere and have acceptance somewhere, the more they'll have the opportunity to not try to fit in or blend in or deny parts of themselves for the sake of approval or external validation somewhere else, but they'll be able to find their way, navigate through the kind of competitive landscape for value and mattering. And it can come through you. So it's no small thing to say yes. And that's my encouragement for you. We'll be back soon with another episode.